She
We've
knows a
been
lot.
friends, yeah. We've been friends for a long time, so I'm really happy to meet you, to finally meet you.
Yes, you too.
Okay, you know, I thought I don't want to take much of your time. So let's maybe try to not take more than 30 minutes, maybe. But once we start talking, then I don't know how long it's going to take, but let's have 30 minutes as a goal.
Okay, so what you're doing is you are recording us, and then you're going to show it to the students.
Yeah, this is what I thought, because you see, because of my schedule now, it's quite short. And then we have a Facebook group. So
Right.
what I intend to do, I intend to share this video, this recording with them. And then I'm going to ask them, I don't know, to write a paragraph about it, or maybe to write further questions to both of you. I don't know.
Yeah.
So this is a way out, because they're at the assembly right now. So as I'm not at the university at the moment, then I thought, okay, so maybe we can talk and then we can show the video to them. I mean, they are really sad because we have been postponing this interview. But then it was the solution I found.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's okay.
Okay, so I'm just going to open the questions here.
Is it the ones you sent to me?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
How are you, Anna?
Huh?
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm doing great.
I haven't been
as I told you,
2 years now.
For what, 2 years?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm hoping to go in December this year. It's going to be 2 years in December.
So I know you're going to, when you come, you end up meeting lots of people and visiting aunts and relatives. But if you find, I don't know, half hour of your time, let me know so that we can meet.
No, we're definitely going to meet. We can meet with everyone and go for a coffee or something.
Okay. So, yeah, we can have, and invite other people as well. I'm sure lots of people at Cultura would like to meet you.
I think it's a bit slow.
Okay, so.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so I have the questions here. So the first question would be where you were both born, okay? Because I haven't told them much.
Okay.
The town or the town, yeah?
Yeah.
No, not when, but where?
Yeah, I was born in Merthyr Tydfil.
Okay. What about you, Dani?
I was born in Uberlândia.
Well, this is a fact they didn't know, so they will know by now.
Born and bred? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now this is the next question is for Craig. Craig, how do Welsh people feel about the English?
Ooh. I suppose it's like Brazil and Argentina.
Ah, so there's a big rivalry. But is it?
Especially in sport.
Oh, in sport.
Yes.
But because of politics, is there something stronger?
A long time ago, the Welsh people really didn't like the English, but as time has gone, I think we're okay now. It's just to do with sport now.
Okay. I'm glad to know.
You should see when Wales and England play on rugby, Anna. It's just crazy. It is absolutely crazy. Wales can lose to any other team as long as they win, they beat England.
So it's like Brazil and Argentina, exactly.
Yeah, it is exactly.
We can lose to anyone, to Germany, but not Argentina, please.
Yeah. I think all countries are the same. Whoever your neighbour is, you're like your enemy. Like France with Germany.
France with England.
Yeah.
And I think it has to do a lot of history as well.
History.
Who conquered who and that type of thing, I think.
I agree. But I don't know where this rivalry between Brazil and Argentina started. If it's only located in the football field, or or if it has, I don't know, if it has come from another part of history.
Break that down, because even inside Brazil, you get people from the northeast will say things about people in the south. Even states like, what's the Guyana?
Goiás.
Goiás, yeah.
You would say things about them, so it breaks down even that.
Yeah.
And even inside a town or a city,
yeah.
they're all from that
and
side.
Brazil and Portugal as well. We
Yeah.
are far, far away, but because of history,
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Yeah,
So.
we tend to mock them a lot. Okay, so the next question was written by Mariana Bourdignon, and she asked, how is it different to be a woman in Brazil and in Wales?
I know, it's a hard question. I don't think I saw many difference in a way that was imposed by the fact that I was living here. I think at the beginning, I noticed changes in myself, but because of the circumstances. Because, for example, in Brazil, I had my own group of friends, and I was more independent. I had my own car. I knew where everything was, and I lived close to everything. But when I moved here, I didn't drive. I wasn't working at the beginning, so yeah, I was a bit isolated. So I think that it doesn't have much to do about the fact of me being a woman. I think it was, it was just the circumstances. Because in general, I haven't noticed any difference.
Really? Okay, what about the way Welsh people see women in general? Is it, or the like your role in society, your role in the family, is it different from Brazil?
I don't think it is. I think that one thing that happens here, well, I take him as an example. He is much more hands-on in the house side of things. Whereas if I compare it, for example, with my sister's husband, it's something completely different. And one point that is really interesting is, for example, maternity leave. So depending on where you work, you have 6 months with pay, full pay. When you have a baby.
Really,
yeah.
And, that's very different from Brazil, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, I think there's still all the difference about salary and like position in the workplace and stuff. But I think that in general, it's more conscientious about the role that the women have in the society, I think.
And what do you miss? Okay, go ahead, Craig. Craig was going to say something.
Well, the equality is.
Yeah, equality is something that is really serious, taken seriously here.
Yeah, well, I can see some difference whenever I travel abroad. I can see some difference, although we have gone a long way in Brazil, but you know that our society is still not very equal. Yeah, for men and women in Brazil.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the next question is, what do you miss about Brazilian people? So I guess the question is for you.
Okay. I think most of all, I miss the easiness of making friends and the easiness of getting together with friends. Because here, for example, I have friends in work, but because I live away from the city I work, so it's not like I get together with my friends all the time. So I think that I miss that easiness of hanging out with people. Yeah,
Okay.
and I miss food.
You miss food too.
Me too.
I bet. Pão de queijo.
Oh, we get them from London now.
The other day I saw a picture Craig posted on Facebook with a beautiful garden, and something that really looked like pão de queijo, and I was, how come they have pão de queijo there?
Oh yes, it was garlic bread.
Balls.
Yeah, I think it's that. So.
Balls, yeah.
It looked like pão de queijo, though. Okay, next question. How have you guys met? So maybe Craig can answer this one.
Yeah, we met on the internet on a pen pal website. And that was 10 years ago?
Yeah, 2005.
10 years ago. Nearly 11 years ago. And here we are.
Okay, but then how did it work? Like you started writing to each other?
Yeah, but through the internet, wasn't it?
Yeah, always through the internet.
And then it was letters.
Yeah.
We done some letters, but always through the internet. That's one good thing about the internet.
Yeah.
And it just developed from there.
We started writing emails to each other, talking about the books we were reading at the moment, the things we liked to do during like our free time, like we liked the gardening and stuff. And I used to tell him about my teaching and about going out with my friends. And it was always super cool because I couldn't wait to get home just to check if he had written, because it was usually one email in the morning and one email in the evening. And because of the time difference as well, wasn't it? So he used to write when he woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and then before he went to sleep. So it was super cool. So every morning when he woke up, there was an email from me, and every morning when he woke up, there was an email from him. So
and it was good because it was.
When did you meet face to face?
We first exchanged our first email on the 1st of April, 2015, 2005, and we met in person for the first time on the 23rd of August.
That's amazing, the dates.
Yeah, of the same year. And I remember that because I was stopped in Cardiff Airport and they didn't let me in.
Well, but did you meet? No, but.
Well,
how could you meet?
They denied my visa, but because I think because it was too late to catch the flight back to Paris, where I came from, they let me spend the night, and he was going to pick me up. So he signed a document saying that he was responsible for taking me back the next day. So we only spent like 12 hours together, didn't we? Yeah.
Wow, that was very intense.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have the letters, all the letters from the home office still.
Oh my goodness, I can imagine all the tears saying goodbye. Oh,
it was the worst flight back to Brazil ever.
You were shocked?
I was. I didn't even know what to do.
You didn't even turn around and leave.
Well, that could be a book telling you about that love story and that adventure for sure. Okay, well, sorry to change the subject, but I think we have to. Otherwise, we're going to be talking about this whole story here. I'm very curious. I can ask you another day. Okay, and do you regret leaving Brazil? I know this answer.
It's not a regret. It's like a little thing in my heart when I think that I left my family back behind, and it's like a fear that I have that the same way I lost my mom while I was here, it's gonna happen again. So it's not really a regret, but it's that fear hanging out up in the air.
Okay, so those were two questions written by Luana. Now, Mariana Doncel wrote a question here. So what's the best food there? Both of you can answer. So Craig, what's the best food in Wales? Or your favorite food?
You're in the UK, it's international. You can get every single thing you can think of. So I can't think of a single food. I think we like Italian food.
Yeah.
We like pastas and
curry.
The guy you like.
There is a joke here, Anna. What is the most typical British food? And everybody says Indian. Yeah, there is an Indian takeaway in every corner. It's amazing.
Yeah, true.
I don't think I've got a favorite food.
I've got a favorite food: Yorkshire puddings.
Oh, really? What's it made of? Is it made of kidney?
It's like
something like this?
No. It's a pancake mixture.
So eggs, flour, and milk.
Yeah.
Eggs, flour, milk mixed, and then put in the oven at a really high temperature, and it just goes.
So it grows. You can have a bigger one. I'll send you a photo after. You can show to the students if you want.
Okay, but you mean there's no filling?
So no, nothing. It's a whole.
But you have it with a Sunday lunch, which is potatoes, maybe roast beef, chicken, a bit. It's the typical Sunday lunch.
I will eat it with nothing because I love it so much. It's really good. Yeah.
Okay, that's really interesting. And she asks, what's it like never having a 40-degree summer?
Amazing. We have higher temperatures here, but we usually joke that our summer, for example, we have 3 days of sun, and like last weekend, for example, it was a bank holiday here, so we had like 25 degrees for like 3 days. Oh, summer! Oh, summer's gone. So it's something like that.
Summer came and summer went.
Yeah. So we have 1 day of summer, something like that. But it usually. I don't miss the hot weather, but I miss the sun because here it rains a lot. So
I bet, yeah, the sun is something that can be missed.
Last year, I was wearing my winter coat at the end of May.
Oh,
I know. So it's like, when am I ever going to be able to leave the house without the cardigan again? Yeah. So
it's consistency.
Yeah. We can have 4 seasons in one day.
Bare feet wearing flip-flops, for example.
Yeah. So here we usually have 4 seasons on one day. It's not difficult to have that.
Okay. Now, Craig, what were the main cultural differences between you? This is a question asked by Rafaela. Maybe things that bothered you at the beginning, that you didn't know about each other, and then...
We knew a lot, didn't we? We didn't. Yeah. We told each other everything, really. Yeah. So there wasn't much of a shock. We knew a lot about each other before we did.
I don't think I had.
But what about when you started living together?
Yeah, I have one.
I bet you must have noticed certain cultural differences.
I've told you about that because in Brazil, for example, when it's Mother's Day, everybody gets together with the mom. When it's Father's Day, we all get together, and here is a little bit different. It's not always that. Like sometimes, for example, Craig and I take his mom and dad for a meal for Father's Day or Mother's Day, but it's not the whole family together.
I see.
But when we were younger, it was.
Yeah. But another thing that another culture shock that I had is not shock, but for example, in Brazil we usually celebrate Christmas. Christmas Eve is very important for us, and here is Christmas Day. So Christmas Day is when everybody gets together, and I love going to your sisters for Christmas, so it's really good. Yeah.
So Craig, have you ever spent Christmas in Brazil?
Once, isn't it?
Yeah, you did, didn't you? Yeah.
Or twice. Not twice.
Twice, but one was the proper one because we spent with.
So Christmas Eve we went out. We had fish, and it was like a long evening. Christmas Day was really quiet.
Yeah.
We went for a walk in Savia.
Yeah.
That was nice in the sun, in the warm weather.
Yeah, that must have been interesting. It's like spend Christmas in a warm weather.
Yeah.
Okay. Then Alishan. Oh no.
One more question.
Asks, okay. No. What do you most like in Wales?
Me.
Yeah.
The landscape.
Apart from your husband.
Yes, come on.
I even forgot about that. I really like the landscape here in Wales. It's really beautiful. And the accents from different areas of Wales I really like as well. And what else do I like about Wales?
Everything's close. You've got the sea, the mountains.
Yeah.
Everything is really close.
Oh, okay. That's really different, because especially living in Minas Gerais, everything is very far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He complains sometimes when we're going to travel somewhere, and it's like 2.5 hours journey. Oh, this is too far. This is too far. You don't know what is far. Oh yeah, he suffers when he goes to Brazil, because everywhere we go is a long way.
Okay. Alexandre asks a question about your book.
Ooh.
So he said, after reading some info regarding your book Love and Pizza, I'd like to know if you think Carolina was somehow inspired by your very own life story.
Okay, Carolina was based on my sister, my youngest sister. While we were living in Naples, she had a really bad breakup with a long-term boyfriend. And I wrote a short story about her. And from that, Carolina was born.
Okay, so
and
now we know where Carolina comes from, but I thought it had been inspired by your sister.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that obviously I saw it through my eyes, and but the Carolina is my sister.
And what's your sister's real name? Is it Carolina?
Cynthia.
Cynthia. Okay, so another name. Okay, this one is for you, Craig. What are some of the impressions you had on Brazilian people which have been confirmed, right or wrong, after you got to meet Daniela? Like some ideas you had of Brazilian people which were confirmed when you met her.
Nothing. The only thing I knew of Brazil was about football. Football on beaches. I never knew nothing. When I arrived in Brazil, it was a shock to see all the skyscrapers, and I never thought it was like that. So
how did you imagine Brazil then? We're shocked with the skyscrapers. So did you think what? Okay, tell us. What was your ideal of Brazil?
Yeah, it was jungle and football. That's all I ever thought.
Jungle and football.
Yeah, that's all I thought. It's crazy.
Okay, well, that's really interesting. Okay, then Roberta asked the question, when you first moved in together, did you have many cultural differences that interfered in your daily life? Like little things?
No, really.
Yes.
Not me.
Here, all the electric points have a switch. Every single one. And because I was not used to it in Brazil, I always left them on, and he kept nagging me. Oh, you didn't turn it off. You didn't turn it off. But why? Nothing's gonna happen. Come on. So yeah, this is one thing for me. And also leaving the door unlocked. When we lived with his parents, they left the door unlocked all day.
And we never leave our doors unlocked here. Yes.
Cars outside in the street all night, and ATMs, cash points in the street. Like no cabins, nothing, no booths, nothing, just cash points in the street.
You know that cash points are closed at night in Brazil right now. Yeah, really? We don't have cash points, yes, except in shopping malls.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because even
here we have them anywhere.
Exactly. You remember those cash points at the entrance of banks in Brazil, but only like a part would be left open during the night. I mean, the robbers have been exploding them, so it's closed. Yeah. So we don't have them anymore.
We don't need to leave the house with any document. which is just...
Sorry, I don't understand.
You don't need to leave the house with any documents on us. Nothing at all.
I see. Oh, really?
So, yeah, nothing. They can track you. If a policeman stops you, they can take your, well, national insurance number, which is like the... Yeah, and they know who you are. They know your car insurance. They know everything about you.
So you just have to tell them the number of your health insurance.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Can you say that the English language was the thing that united you?
It helped a lot, didn't it?
Yeah, well, we wouldn't.
Yeah.
We wouldn't, yeah.
But I think that...
But not united us.
Yeah.
We united each other.
Yeah, I think it was the things in common that we had that got us together, like, and on and on and on.
So maybe the language made it possible.
Yeah.
Maybe the exchange of information.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's something, it's something I like about meeting on the internet. It's that you have the time to really get to know the other person, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, to find what you have in common.
Yeah, because when we got together for Rio, then we already knew, like,
a little bit of history.
Yeah, we knew basically nearly everything about each other, so it was really good.
Okay, Craig, which word? I don't know if you'll be able to answer this, but which word or grammar rule do you think is the strangest in Portuguese? I don't know. Have you learned anything, any structure in Portuguese which you find strange?
What's that station in Rio? Is this the metro station?
Sé.
No, Conceição.
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 You mean, the name Conceição.
Yeah, it's really strange for me.
It's in São Paulo.
What's the other one now? What's the other one that you always used to make me say?
I don't know. Sometimes I make them say words just because it's funny to hear.
Okay. Which is there another one?
I can't think of it now, but
okay, but Conceição.
Yeah, Conceição.
Conceição. Okay, Conceição. All right. And Daniela, what advice do you give to people who want to write a book or to be an author?
Okay. When I finally managed to finish my book, I had participated on a challenge, which was National Novel Writing Month. So I had to write 50,000 words in a month. That challenge made me put aside some time to actually do it. So I think that the advice I give to whoever wants to write a book is set themselves targets and stick to them. And don't worry about, because when you're writing, you have to think that you're writing to other people, but at the moment it's just for you. Don't write and edit while you write it. Just write away, and when you finish, then you go back to edit, because otherwise you'll never finish.
Okay, that's an interesting tip. All right. The question here is, yes, have you graduated, Daniela? If so, do you think your graduation contributed to your career as a writer?
Well, I graduated in English and literature in Brazil. But when I came to Wales, then I did a master's in English and creative writing. And that really helped me.
Okay. Now, for both of you, Giovanna asks a question. What was the last book you read? And did you learn anything useful?
Nice. The last book I read was a thriller book.
A thriller book?
A thriller, yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I didn't really learn anything, but I was scared.
But you enjoyed it?
Yeah.
What about Daniela?
I can't remember the last book I read. It was the one I gave to you, wasn't it? It was also a thriller book.
But it was a ghost, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. Oh no. It was Girl on the Train. I remember now.
Girl on the Train.
The Girl on the Train.
It's in cinema.
Yeah, and when I read a book, sometimes I read analyzing the book as well, the way it's written and everything. So one thing I like to learn when I read a book is like learn how they do the dialogues. So the way they start the dialogues, the words they use to present the dialogues and everything. But the book is really good.
It's like when teachers attend classes, so they start paying attention how the other person is teaching.
Yes.
Okay. And Craig, what do you do in your free time?
Oh, gardening.
So what about that garden that you posted on Facebook? Is it your garden?
Yeah, it's just outside.
Do you want to see it?
Oh yeah, we want to see it. We would love to see it.
It's too light here though.
Wow. What a beautiful garden you have.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
It's Craig's masterpiece.
Oh, that is something really different between Brazilian man and Welsh man.
Yes, my mom was the gardener in our house.
Yeah, Brazilian men don't care about their garden.
It's more of a woman's thing, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe. I think not even women.
Because, well, I think in Brazil it's cheaper to pay someone to.
Yeah, that's the difference. I think in the UK we do a lot of do-it-yourself.
Yeah.
We paint houses, do the garden work, do things we can. But in Brazil, it's so cheap to pay someone to do it. But
well, I think it's not so cheap anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not anymore. But I think gardening is part of your culture, you know.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
As soon as the sun is out, the British people are out.
Yeah. So from April until around October, nearly all my time I go in the garden, do something.
Wow, that's great. That's great.
He tires me. He never stops.
Okay. Are you guys aware of the current situation of Brazilian politics?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you think about what's happening in Brazil?
I think it's a shame because Brazil has the opportunity to be such a good country, especially because of its size and it's hard-working people, isn't it?
But you've got everything there.
Yeah, we have everything, resources and minerals and everything and
agriculture.
Yeah,
everything. You should be a really rich country and do well. You live on the coast, so you can export everything easily.
I think it's bad management.
And what do you hear about Brazilian politics there?
Sometimes we read on the BBC and not I haven't seen on the news on TV.
I saw something yesterday. Was it this?
About
another one's been sacked or something.
Oh really? I don't know. The thing that is being on TV about Brazil now is about the Olympics and the Zika virus.
Mm-hmm.
They've I think about 150 doctors and scientists have signed a petition not to send the either to cancel or to postpone
or to delay,
because of the dangers of the Zika virus. So
okay.
That's the latest news.
But we only.
What about Dilma? What about her impeachment? What do you hear? Because here in Brazil, you know that there are two sides of the story, right? So there's a group saying that she's innocent and that it's a coup, it's a political coup, and the other side saying that she has committed certain financial or political misdoings. Yeah, I wouldn't even say crime, right? Because it's not criminal. And her impeachment is understandable, and it's legal in a way.
Yeah.
So what do you hear over there?
Yeah, that's the only thing we do here is about Dilma, isn't it?
Yeah.
On the BBC.
Yeah.
Unless you click onto that into
other
America.
news and stuff. Yeah. We just hear that Brazil is going through a very difficult time at the moment.
And the economy as well.
And the economy is going really badly, and that's it, basically.
Okay. Daniela, have you learned any Welsh?
I was practicing it earlier. I took some Welsh classes with Craig because, well, it's free when you are an employee of the university. And a teacher having classes, it didn't go so well because I couldn't just adapt to the teacher's methods or anything. But bore da, it's good morning in Welsh.
Oh, can you say that again?
Bore da.
Bore da?
Yeah.
Wow.
Bore da. And then diolch, means thank you. And
Doing coffee coffee.
Doing
coffee means I like coffee.
Wow. Okay, but when you go out in the streets, how do you communicate with people? Do they use English with you or Welsh?
In Wales, only 20% of the people speak Welsh.
Which is a shame, isn't it?
And a lot in West and North Wales, and there's some in the South.
What about with your parents, Craig? Do you use English or Welsh?
My parents don't speak Welsh. My great-grandparents spoke Welsh, only Welsh. But that's filtered down to only English now.
Okay, all right.
But there's a big revival, especially in our university. So all the signs have to be in the two languages.
I see, okay.
There'll be law soon in educational establishments and local government. They will have to have everything translated to Welsh. So you can use it.
Okay, are the children taught Welsh at school?
There are Welsh schools where everything's taught in Welsh, or there are English-speaking schools with Welsh. I think is it compulsory up to a certain age?
Yeah, compulsory.
Maybe up to 11, and then you can decide if you want to take it or not.
What about Craig? Have you learned any Portuguese?
I've learned a few times already.
Yeah, he starts learning, and then he starts learning again, and then he stops, and then he starts learning.
Yeah,
it's complicated.
I think we're lazy in when we speak English because it's spoken everywhere. If I was Italian or Swedish, I think I would have to learn. I would need to learn another language because I couldn't travel nothing.
Yeah.
But I know I should learn.
Casa de ferreiro, espeta de pau, Ana.
True. Okay. Let's see. Talking about food. Which Brazilian food don't you like, Craig?
I think there's only one. The heart of palm.
Palmito.
Oh, really? You don't like palmito?
Not like disgusting, but there's the smell. No.
Okay, you don't like the smell.
But apart from that, I think I like everything else.
Chicken hearts, it doesn't like.
Chicken hearts, no.
Oh, chicken. What about feijoada?
Yeah, but if it's not.
If it's not the horrible pieces of pork, he will eat it.
I see. The beans are okay.
But I love Brazilian snack foods. Beautiful. And I love the fruits.
Pastel is his favorite. And coxinha.
Well, that's not very healthy.
No. But yeah, I really do like the food in Brazil.
I think you better stick with the fruit and the juices.
He loves água de coco as well.
I love it.
Oh, água de coco. Okay, perfect. Daniela, what was the biggest challenge of living abroad? Well, at the beginning you mentioned something about being, you were very independent here in Uberlândia, right? But apart from that, can you remember anything that you...
Yeah, I think that the biggest challenge for me was to actually find a job that I liked doing and settle. And
I think that you find it hard if you're not in the city.
Yeah.
Because you came from a city and you went to a small town.
Yeah. So I left, for example, I left Santos when I left Brazil, and I went to a village with how many people? 10,000 people. And I didn't have a car, and there wasn't a train station.
Nothing to do.
Nothing to do.
Wow.
But I think the biggest challenge was the fact that I was out of job for a while, and I went from one horrible job to another horrible job. And it developed resilience.
Are you happier now?
Yes. We're going to be office buddies now.
Next office.
Next Tuesday. Yeah, we're working
so
with each other. Yeah.
Tell us, where are you working?
We work for Cardiff University now. And I am program support. So I will be in the backstage of the occupational therapy undergrad and postgrad courses.
Oh, so you'll be working at the same university. When do you start, Craig?
I started 6 years ago.
Ah, okay. So you're just moving offices.
I am moving offices.
You are.
The next office, yeah. I work there as a building officer.
Okay, sorry. I have been moving my... There's a little insect here.
I work there as a building officer.
Sorry?
I work there as a building officer. So I look after the building, and we have a couple of other buildings. So
okay.
I like the job.
And are you happy with your job?
Yes, I love my job.
Okay, that's good. Happy people living together. So, Craig, is there anything about Brazilian habits that you find really weird?
The thing I find I sometimes struggle with is when you you go for lunch and you may spend 6, 7, 8 hours. Sometimes I find that sometimes I just want to have some food, have a chat, and then, okay, we'll do our thing. But it goes on and on and on and on. And I have to say goodbye. And then, oh yeah, goodbye.
That's true. Like we say goodbye, we kiss, and we stay, and we talk some more.
A little bit more, a different subject.
That drives him crazy.
Because I'm not very patient.
That's an understatement.
It's an understatement. That is very patient. That's good. Okay. What countries have you visited together?
Denmark, Italy,
Greece,
Czech
Republic,
Spain, Czech Republic, Egypt, Holland, England, obviously.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, I think so.
Ah, you've traveled a lot.
Yeah,
Brazil, of course.
Another thing that we have that in common is itchy feet. We love traveling. Absolutely love traveling. Yeah.
What foreign languages do you know?
English.
What about Daniela? English. Have you learned another language, Daniela?
Yeah, I learned Spanish and Italian.
Ah, yeah, because you lived in Italy. But Craig, you didn't learn Italian?
We lived in Napoli, so it's different again, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's Napolitan.
Ah. Oh, did you learn Napolitan?
No. The thing was, because we were teaching English there, we didn't need to speak Italian with anyone. We couldn't speak Italian with our students, and we socialized with a Brazilian and an Italian who spoke English. So, and our boss was Welsh. So
okay, that's understandable.
Yeah.
Okay, so Daniela, what were the biggest difficulties that you faced when you first arrived in Wales? I think you have already answered that in a way, haven't you?
Yeah.
What is the strangest habit people like talking about habits here? What is the strangest habit people have in Wales? Okay, so he talked about a strange habit in Brazil. Now it's your turn.
It's not so much as strange, but it's something that it's really a British thing, and I got the bug now. I am obsessed with the weather. And I have a weather app on my phone. And I check it about like 3 times a day, 4 times a day.
Oh, I know, the first thing I do is...
Yeah, first thing I do in the morning is check the weather to see. And I wait on the BBC for the weather to come, so I can see what I can expect of the day.
Well, but then, like you said, if you sometimes have 4 seasons in a day, then we understand why you have a weather app on the phone, right?
Yeah. So this is one thing.
Can you imagine how boring the weather app is in Brazil? Oh, it's gonna be sunny. It's gonna be sunny. It's gonna be sunny.
And like talking about the weather is like an icebreaker. It's definitely an icebreaker. And
the first thing everyone
it is the first thing people will say to you if you get into a lift.
It's a terrible day. Oh, it's a beautiful day.
When you see somebody after the weekend, the weather was lush last weekend, wasn't it? So it's the first thing. And another thing that I find very strange is the way most of people eat here. You know, when we use the fork, right? Give me a fork, please. I'll get a fork. Just a sec. Okay. I need the mic as well. Okay, I said I need to say this. Right, because in Brazil, right, we eat with the fork like this. We put the food on here.
Yeah.
And here, people go like this. So what they do is, for example, there is a piece of meat. They fork the piece of meat and they go like this. And they put the food on top. And go like this. Why? This is made for it.
Yeah, that's illogical, Craig.
No, he doesn't do it. But I every time I'm having food with someone, I look straight away the way they eat, and it goes like, you're using it the wrong way.
I think it's the posh way to eat.
The posh way to eat.
The correct way to eat. Like.
Is that the posh way to eat?
I think so. That's sort of
like an etiquette.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have got none.
Okay. What differences can you see between the way people treat each other in Wales and the way people treat each other in Brazil? Like the kindness with old people, sharing housework.
With older people, we have... like we get occupational therapists and things. Yeah. So there's a lot more help for older people here and assistance. But I think people in Brazil look after their parents as a family instead of, okay, go to nursing home.
Yeah. This is one thing I found very different when I came over here. And especially when I started, I was teaching at a university once. And on the first day of class, one of my students came in and another person came with him. And I said, oh, you are a new student as well. No, I am his support. So the boy was dyslexic, and the university provides support for him. So the person was there typing on the computer everything that I was saying and helps him study afterwards.
Oh, that is really interesting. It's something we don't normally have in Brazil, right? That kind of support.
There's a lot of help and support and care for people.
Yeah. For example, in the university now where I work, we have a department that's called student support. and they offer counseling to the students. For example, it's much more pastoral with the students, something I can never imagine. We having at UFO, for example, a student whose mother found out she was very ill. They are backing the student all the way, so they totally have their backs. It's something that I had never seen it before, never.
It's like the psychological support, right?
Yeah.
To help you all the way. Okay. From what you observed the last time you came to Brazil, what do you think needs to be changed here?
Is it like the red tape, bureaucracy? Things here are so easy to do. You can go to the post office and you go in, or the bank, and within 3 minutes you've served and finished and gone. In Brazil, it takes so long, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Hours and hours and hours to do things, simple things. I think it's the service here. The quality of service is much better and quicker. That's the main thing.
Yeah, and I don't know why, but I think it's a matter of, for example, this going out without documents thing and not needing to take my driver's license when I get out in the car. It shows a little bit of like more trust towards the people. Then they know that like the majority of the people won't just trick you or something like that.
Yeah, you can.
And the laws here, if you do something wrong, you definitely get punished for it.
If you're the queen or a politician, it's the same.
So it's like they presuppose honesty, whereas here we presuppose the opposite.
Yeah.
And we don't want to be tricked, so we presuppose there is someone tricking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's sad. Very sad. Yeah.
I know it is.
I know I could leave here at midnight and walk in the street, and no one would bother me. I wouldn't worry about being robbed, attacked. Nothing. I could just.
But you live in a small place, right? Even in bigger cities.
Not even in the city. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Another question. This one was asked by Luis Henrique. Did you guys have to change something in your personal lives to overcome the cultural differences between you? Like, as a family now, have you created certain habits that maybe another couple doesn't have?
A lot.
Yeah?
A lot of habits. But nothing big, if you know what I mean. It's just like little things that we do for each other and like.
We have a lot of fun, don't we?
Yeah, we have a lot of fun. For example, he makes my lunchbox for work every night. That type of thing. And I cook his favorite dish all the time, which is pasta. According to him, it's the only thing I know how to cook. But anyway, but yeah, we are a good team, aren't we? Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
And we like the simple things. We don't think we have to have the biggest of that. And it's just.
Okay, this one is for Craig. Carla asked, is there any particular thing or multiple things about Wales that makes you proud to be Welsh?
Not sort of proud to be Welsh, but wherever you go, you can relate to someone from Wales. Like if you were American, like Florida would be totally different to New York. But if you go anywhere you are in Wales, it's so small, you can sort of relate to them. You could say, you may even know them because it's so small. You could travel to Spain and you may, I know that he's from that town, or you can always start a conversation with them about Wales.
One thing that surprised me when I first came is because whenever we talk about the British, the English come first, and you have that stereotype, don't you, that the English are cold people, and but then the Welsh people are as friendly as Brazilians. They are so warm people and so welcoming, and I felt welcome from the beginning. So, And every person I meet, really, obviously there are people and people, but it doesn't matter what nationality they are. There are nice people and there are horrible people. But the tendency is that the Welsh people, they are friendly and warm, which is really good.
Okay, and how were you, what about prejudice? Were you well accepted? And
yes, I never felt any difference because I wasn't from here.
That's good. Well, did you have any prejudices about Wales before you went there?
No, I didn't know much of Wales. All I knew was, well, obviously before I met him, was through the books and through the English classes and everything. But no, it wasn't so much. But I never had, I didn't know what to think.
Same as me.
Yeah, same as him, really. I knew it existed. I knew it was beautiful, but I didn't know anything about the people. So, yeah.
Okay, now this is a really interesting question here. It was written by Theo, and he says, we're here talking and studying about culture, because this is the topic of our subject at university. And you are both a representation of a cultural shock experience. What is the best piece of wisdom you both can give us regarding this subject, based on what you lived and learned?
Oh, we were talking about this earlier, weren't we?
Yeah.
I think it doesn't matter where you're from. At the end of it, it's the person. So in Brazil, you love posh people, snobby people, and you love them in Wales and Italy and all around the world. It doesn't matter where you're from, it's the person.
Yeah, I think it's the person. It's going without prejudice and being yourself, I think, is the best thing. And never ever forget where you come from. I think this is one thing that is really interesting.
Yeah.
When I first started working here, I had my first contact with Middle Eastern people. And before then, the only thing I knew about them was 9/11, right? And so terrorists, that's the only thing I knew about people from the Middle East. And I met the most fantastic people from Saudi Arabia, from Pakistan, from Afghanistan even, and it's a country full of terrorists, but there's lovely people from there as well. So it's just a matter, I think, of being tolerant with people's cultures and make sure you do the best to learn from them.
I think stereotypes are very dangerous, right? So like you said, like it's a place with lots of terrorists, but it's like saying like Brazil, it's a place with lots of criminals.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can't really stereotype and put everyone in one bag.
Yeah.
And I think you have answered the next question, which is cultural prejudice. Why do you think there is such a thing? Maybe, well, you said that we need tolerance. Maybe why is there cultural prejudice?
I think sometimes it's passed from, yeah, well, first of all, you don't know about something, so you fear that something. And I think that most of the times it's passed from father to children.
The family.
And then it comes from the family. Because there's loads and loads of articles and videos where like children of different colors and different cultures play together and they have no problem with that. But as soon as the father or the mother sees it, they separate them. So I think that the prejudice passed on through generations.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But living abroad is
it opens your mind.
Yeah. Have you lived abroad?
Yeah, I've lived in England, in the States, in France. Yeah, it really opens your eyes to everything, right? You see that there is another way of thinking. So you must have felt that a lot when you lived in Italy, yeah?
Yeah. The Italians are a bit similar to the Brazilians. They are very loud, and well, I come from an Italian family, so but still in that area we went, there were a lot of differences. and it's just learning to live with it, really.
I think it should be mandatory for people to live in a different country for 2 years.
That would be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, and the last question here is it different being married to a foreign person?
I wouldn't know because I've never been married.
I don't know.
I think it's great.
I think it just
Why do you think it's great?
Because you need to find out, not just find out from that person, but the culture, the history, everything. It's not like you meet someone, I could meet someone in Wales, and I'd have to know that person. But now I got the added of getting to know someone and of where they're from and everything, and it's totally different.
Yeah. And I think it adds to our personality as well. To like be with someone who has nothing to do with your culture, and you learn so much from them. So,
I've got a Welsh accent.
And I've got a Welsh accent, innit?
Yeah, she definitely has a kind of accent. I don't know if it's a Welsh accent because you are the expert. But yes, she has a beautiful accent.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, I think there are some other questions here, but I think we have already covered lots of the ideas that they were asking here. So I'd like to thank you so much for taking your time to talk to us.
That was fun.
We had a good time, didn't we?
Yeah, it was super fun.
Great.
Once next semester, we can do the follow-up questions then.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm going to see with them if they have extra questions, and I'll let you know.
Okay.
But I'd like to thank you from the bottom of my heart. And when you come, if Craig comes as well, please come and visit or call me. If you have time for just a coffee, we can go out for
a coffee. Don't worry.
If you have time for more than that, come and have some wine. We can have dinner together.
Yeah. A punch of queijo. Look at him.
Do you like wine? Yeah. I love wine as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so bye. I'm really happy to see you again, Dani.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.